long time, I'm going to teach you how to make a platformer. So let's get started. Here is a quick demo. There's wall jumping, there's movements, there's spikes, and much more. There's lava, there's trampolines. Well, if you're interested, let's get started instantly. Basically what I have here is just a player, spikes, and levels. So as you can see, I have a player. And let me zoom out and let's make a quick player. So click on shift and draw a quick square. And then click on this crop tool and just click on two random places and the middle place. You can make a curved edge. Do this for all sides and make sure to duplicate it and switch these sides. Next, the spike. Do shift and draw another square and then click on this and then curve it. Then all you have to do is rotate it and you get a perfect spike. Cool, right? You can add your own designs. And level is pretty simple. Just draw this, and if you want to draw like a wall jump, do that. That's all. Now let's get coding. First, we want to create a quick block and name it code. We're gonna store all the code inside of this block. So all we're gonna do is one click, we're gonna forever run the block. This code does not do anything yet, but it's gonna do stuff soon. So the first thing that we want to do is if left arrow key pressed, if key left pressed, and if key right pressed, because this is the basic movements for a platformer. So we want to go ahead into the variables and create two quick variables, one called xval, but it's not a cval, and yval. Right, so you can just click on this to hide them, and do change xval by 1 if the right arrow key pressed, and if it's the left arrow key pressed, then do change xval by -1. Correct. So the next thing that we want to do is if the left arrow key pressed, then we want the costume to switch to the second player. So it's kind of like left and right. Right, that's done. Now we want it to do like a gradual movement. So we're going to do something called set xval to, we're going to get the times block, and in the second blank put 0.9. And the first blank put xval. And now change x by xval. So we can actually move, right? So that's like an essential thing for a platformer. Now let's test this out. Wow, it's pretty nice. It's the first basic thing that we have to do. Now we want to do the y movement. So go ahead and do change y by change yval by -1. And make sure to put that at the top of the code. So why we're essentially doing this is because we always want the player to move down until it's touching this, right? So make sure to go get the 4 if statements and do if touching, we want it to touch the, if it's touching levels, right? So make sure to duplicate this, that we touch the level. Don't worry, we're gonna make it go down once. So make sure to drag this into its respective positions and make sure to duplicate this one last time. I'm actually not sure why they do this. Like I don't think, like when I tried it once without just change y by 1 4 times and deleted it by 4, like it still is the same thing, it just gets cancelled out. But anyways, let's do the collision now. So make sure to do change y by -4, and I'm just gonna do this quick piece of code and I'll explain it to you later. Right, so what I did here was, if we touch levels, right, so if we're touching this area, we wanted to move the opposite direction. So we do change xval times -1, so it just moves the opposite direction. Then, if key up arrow press, so this is like wall jumping code, like all of this here. Right, so now we just want it to move by, like, we want y to change by y, right? So let's just do that really quick. So change y by y velocity, so all this code actually activates. And now we want it to, like, so we want it to stop falling down. Remember, like at the top we did change yval by -1. We actually want that to stop when it touches this, so that's the next code that we're gonna do. So if touching levels, so drag in the if touching levels, and then all you have to do is change y by get a times and a minus block, and make sure to put the minus block first and put the times block inside of it. So like, this is actually a really essential part. If you mess this up, then you're pretty much gonna mess up the entire code and it's not gonna work. I've actually done that multiple times. And then after that, just make sure to set xvel to 0, so we don't want any movements that time. So this code, what it does is it basically just makes the player sit when it touches theirs. Okay, so we want to set yvel to 0, so like it doesn't move or anything. So okay, let me move it down. Okay, sorry about that. Let's just make it go somewhere here. So let's make it go to -116, -71. So as you can see, this is a nice little thing that we have there. So the last thing that we have to implement is jumping, right? So if we need the if statement, once again, I know there are a lot of if statements, and we need an and operator. So and or is our operators, and then we need key up arrow pressed, and we also need if touching levels. So what happens here is if up arrow key and touching levels, we want to set yvel to 15. So what this does is like, so if you just spam the up arrow key, we don't want it to like keep going up, so that's why we do if and if touching levels. So now sorry, one more thing that we have to add in, change y by -1 and change y by 1, because like the thing is like 1 pixel above, so we want it to move it down. Okay, so yeah, let's try this. Yeah, so as you can see, I can like jump now, right? And let's check if wall jumping works. Yay, everything works. It's really nice. So the next thing that we want to implement is spikes, right? So let's go into the spikes. I hope you already have the spikes thing, and make sure to do, since we only have one level right now, so all we have to do is we have this spike here, and we just have to say when clicked forever if touching, right? So the touching is like the sensing in the sensing section. You could either do it by the color, but I would prefer like if you just touch these spikes, so that like if you have a different colored spike, you don't have to do if touching this color and that color, because that's a bit long. So then we want it to reset, right? So we want it to go back to this position here. So I'm just gonna drag it down. It's gonna take a long time. Okay, yeah, here. So this is what happens. So now we have this, and if I touch this, yay, it goes back to the beginning. I mean, that's not really the beginning, it's kind of the middle, but you could put it here. So thank you so much for watching, and in the next video we're going to be adding more levels. We're going to be adding like a variable to keep track of which level we're on, and some more features like I showed you in the beginning, which include lava and like spikes, trampolines, ladders, all that fun stuff. So see you next time, and if you like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.